Here's a 300-piece Freddy is Heimdall. I think did I pronounce that right? Is it Heimdall? Yeah. Freddy is Hey there friends, it's your old pal Jason here with $7 a pop and Mystery Grail, and we're here today to show you an unboxing. Now I know it's been a while since we've done one of these, but we picked up a couple really big collections, including one that was valued at $500,000. We have some of the big hits that were featured in that collection, plus we have some others that were featured in some other collections that we have, plus we're going to be talking about New York Comic Con, which you're going to be able to get your hands on some of these items that you're going to be seeing today. So without further ado, let's take a look. Now when I say we're going all the way to the past, I mean we are going to take a deep dive into the past. How about this one being 13 years ago? This is one of the original Funko Pops. This is after they got rebranded as Funko Pops, originally called Funko Force 2.0. And if you have any of those on Funko Force, leave a comment below and tell us all about those and how great those are, because they are super great. But this one, this was after it debuted. They had some left over they had to fulfill. They changed the entire lineup, so instead of being in those bubble protectors where it had Funko Force 2.0, they showed up in the box, and they had nice little stickers on there. So if you have one of these at home, which I do, this is actually one of the very first Funko Pops ever produced, and they have a date here on the bottom, 8/31/10. So that was after San Diego Comic-Con. This is when they fulfilled all of those pre-orders that they had from the fanatics on the board way back when. Yes, you could get a pre-order and have them all shipped to your house of every exclusive. Could you imagine if you could still do that today? Whew, that'd be amazing. So this is just one of the things that you're going to be able to see at our booth at New York Comic Con 1023. And of course, if it doesn't sell there, you're going to see this in one of our drops, or maybe we'll just keep it here and I can have two of them. I can't have two of them. Here's some other great, we have a 24-piece gold Freddy Funko Chrome. You know, it's a 24-piece. You don't really see 24 pieces anymore. You barely see 48 pieces anymore. Here's another 24-piece, the Glow Frankenstein. I so wanted to pull one of these that year. Freaky Tiki Fun Days was, I think compared to this year, it still might be my favorite. This year Camp Fun Days was a lot of fun. Don't talk about the sandwich, I don't want to hear about it, but what was your favorite Fun Days? You can drop a comment below and tell us. It's Olaf. Freddy is Olaf. A 24-piece glitter Freddy is Olaf. A lot of people like to be very rude about Olaf, saying he was, you know, they've moved on from Olaf like little kids move from trains to dinosaurs, you know, this is what they do. Speaking of 48 pieces, this is one of the coolest Freddys ever made. This was from 2011. It was one of the years I didn't get to go there. 2011 Fun Days exclusive Freddy Ramone is what he became known as. He had the old school shirt logo there, the old school logo on his shirt. That's another great one to have. A couple more Freddys here. Here's a Toy Tokyo 15th anniversary Freddy Funko. I remember when those came out. That was another fun year. New York Comic Con exclusive. Here was a Willy Wonka. Freddy Willy Wonka, 500 piece. Remember this year when they gave those out, Brian actually came out dressed as Willy Wonka. That suit is still available, I'm told. Funmaker Mike told me that it's still around. So maybe we can all see if he can send that to us and we can all try it on or pose with it. I think that would be neat if he brought that around. Here's a 300-piece Freddy is Heimdall. Another really cool from the past. My least favorite Funko Con sticker, but it's this is a really highly desired one. Any of the Marvel Freddy stuff, it's always on the high end of the value scale. Speaking of other rare ones, Freddy as Bumble, the Bumble Freddy. That is that's a great one, and this one actually bobbled. Freddy Bumble Bobble. He's a Bumble Bobble. You get it. But that's another 96 piece. There was a chase version of this too, which I don't know if it's here or not, but that would have been a good one to have as well. For those of you who are fans of Ad Icons, the entire set of the metallic cereal monsters, Boo Berry, Frankenberry, and Count Chocula. These, for the longest time, just sat down low value, and then one day, all of a sudden, they were worth several $1,000s each. that's something great to have. If you still have this set, let us know in the comments below. This is probably one of the cooler sets, especially if you like metallic pops. That vintage old Funko metallic paint that sort of, it wore a little over time, but I think it gives it kind of a unique look, and it's really cool. Has anyone ever been to Fanatics Day Out? Well, if you did, at one point, this was one of the giveaways. It was a 96-piece pink-haired, orange-crowned Freddy Funko. The Fanatics Day Out sticker on it, but it was the pop one. This is a really, really cool Freddy. I think if you're a Freddy collector, these are some of the ones that you're going to want. And again, you can see them all at our booth, or perhaps later on in one of our drops. Another 96 piece of holidays coming up. You have Freddy Funko as the Snow Miser. I always wish they made one as the Heat Miser. I think that would have gone nicely. Maybe they can do that again. Redo it. But this is the 96 piece. There is a chase piece to this one too that was lower piece count. I can't remember if it was a 12 or a 24, but it was a lower one. If you're a Power Rangers fan, they had Freddy as the White Ranger. They did most of the Power Rangers as Freddy Funko in that year. 2017 was the year they did that. Plus here we have the Jack Skellington Freddy, which is 196 piece. Like, these are legitimately low piece count Freddys. They don't do that as much anymore, and we all know the hullabaloo they caused this year, but that's fine. You could still get your opportunity to even just look at these and admire them. They're fantastic. Here's another cool one, 96 piece Freddy. He's a crystal clear version. They did some resin ones. We're going to see those a little bit. Wink, wink. Hinting. It's called like a tease about the future. But this is one of the, again, I keep saying it's one of the cooler ones, but it has the Comic-Con logo on there, but he's a clear vinyl Freddy. It's a really cool one to have if you, again, add it to your collection. Everyone needs it. But you know what? We're not just all about Freddy. And I got some big ones here I'm going to show you in the back. But you know what else we're going to be bringing? We're going to be bringing some Disney Store classic Comic-Con ones. This is the Mike from Monsters, Inc., the glow version. This was limited to 480 pieces. This year, it was 2012, when they did this, they had a special booth that had Disney around the corner of it. So they were kind of sharing some space, and they were selling some things there as well. So that's when you had the Disney Store. You had the Mike, and I think it was the Flocked Sully, if I'm not mistaken. I could be mistaken. I'm mistaken about a lot. Maybe it was Flocked Lotso, but that could have also been D23. Could be a lot of different things. You can Google it afterwards. You have it there at your disposal, so pause this and Google it. And then here is one of the original metallic Shazams from Gemini Collectibles. This is probably, I mean, again, that old school metallic fade that's on here. It's great. And this was only 240 pieces. So, I mean, if you have this in your collection, you know what I'm talking about, but you're going to see some stuff like that there. Oh, and if anyone got lucky last Halloween, the gold Geico Gecko. 1 of 100 pieces, and we have one here. You're going to be able to see it. Again, New York Comic Con, and then maybe in a drop afterwards if it doesn't sell there. And speaking of other really rare pieces, here's another Freddy Wacky Wobbler. I told you, we're going way back in the past. This one was from 2011 when they were still making the really cool wobblers, and if you like the new wobblers that are coming out, tell us about it, because those are great. But this was a variation. They did the Freddy Blueberry. They never did one with the pop, but they need to get on that. Do it now. But this was a 12-piece, the glow. So that was, again, the hard-to-find chase piece that they gave away at Fun Days that year. And speaking of other cereal monsters, you can get Frankenberry and Count Chocula Freddy's that are also going to be there. And we have a couple more in the wobbler category. Remember these old boxes of fun? I do. And what's great is that, you know, what mystery awaits, but on the other side, what misery awaits. Always great with the little fun jokes that Funko put on the things. So, this is what you would get that year, an example of it, and you'd have 3 pops inside. You wouldn't have these 3 necessarily, but look at these rare. These were the Freddy Awards, and there's a black and white Freddy, the pink tux Freddy, and the glow-in-the-dark orange Freddy Funko. I mean, if you need these for your collection, I need the orange one. I have the other two. I need the orange one for my collection. I'm gonna steal this. I'm taking it. It's mine, Lee. You can't have it. Nah, I think he'll figure out where it went, because there's not that many of these. There was only a handful. They were put on the Hall of Fame plaques, and they had a couple left over for some of the awards. Another example of a cool box of fun that they did give out when the first Freddy Marvel Tony Stark Freddy, and they did 3 different ones. There was a gray, a red, and a gold. And again, these were each 48. So you could get one of these, and then you wound up having to trade depending on which ones you wanted. So these are really great. We have some more pops coming up, so we're gonna go ahead and take a look at those now. All right, some of these next Freddys now, we're getting into the ultra rare category. And again, I'm gonna get to the big ones in just a moment, but we're gonna go over some of these. Remember how we talked about that Jack Skellington Freddy? Here's its counterpart, the 24-piece, and of course it's armor worthy, but this is the 24-piece Jack Skellington, and he's a little glittery, but this one, again, if you had a chance to pick this one up, man, you were probably ecstatic. Now, one of my absolute favorite Freddys, which I'm a big Scott Pilgrim fan, so of course the Scott Pilgrim Freddy Funko, which I remember when it was the one I had to trade for that year because I didn't pull that one, and someone goes, oh, there's a Scott Pilgrim Freddy, and I just said, I'm getting it right now, I don't care what I had to give up for it. I think I gave up a Power Ranger, maybe? I don't remember. It was probably one of the Power Rangers, but it was, again, this was a must for me. Speaking of Power Rangers, did you know that they had a 24-piece Black Ranger Freddy? Well, they did. And if you were after to complete your Freddy Power Ranger set, this one was going to be a tad bit elusive because only 24 people could possibly have a full set. And that was how infuriating Funko used to be, but if you caught that 24 and then worked your way up, you would have been better. Going back to the past to 2012, V for Vendetta, the V for Freddetta, I think is sometimes what it's referred to. I would call it that. In fact, you know what? We're just going to call it that from now on. F for Freddetta. So this, again, this was a 96-piece. Those really old school Freddys with those low piece counts were so awesome. We have another 24-piece here, and this was the Freddy, which one is it? I can't see because I don't have it on here. But it was Freddy's race stance with the marshmallow explosion on him as the 24-piece. I know a lot of fanatics out there got the full set of Ghostbusters, but you know, this one was always a hard one to get because again, each one was 24 pieces. So you could have gotten the rest of them 24 pieces each. Man, I miss pulling those. I only had one of 12, and it was the Freddy Stormtrooper with the blue hair. I didn't even realize it was a 1 of 12 until, you know, I saw it. And I was like, oh, this is a 1 of 12. 196-piece green hair Freddy Boba Fett. Another cool one. I kind of wish I had tried to snag one of these way back when. I can't now. So this is your opportunity to, you can come see these again at our New York Comic Con booth. You can come look at this one. We have another couple old ones. Well, speaking of that Freddy Trooper, here's the regular one, which was a 96-piece. And again, the 12-piece blue hair, which, by the way, the box was completely destroyed when I had sent it off to its new home. So really, there was only 11 of those blue hairs left. Keep that in mind. But this was the 96-piece Freddy Clone Trooper, and you know, again, if you had that one, awesome. Something cool for Kiss fans: the Freddy as the demon, and then Freddy as Beetlejuice. Both of these were 96 pieces. And again, this was a great year for the Freddys. It was the first year they kind of just went all out in 2012. They did a whole bunch of different variations of Freddy. Really good to have. Here's a couple 96 pieces. Freddy Joker and the Freddy with the Stan Lee showing off the Funko logo there. These were two 96 pieces. Again, you're not gonna these don't show up every single day. They show up in collections and we get them here, and we couldn't resist. We had to hold on to them and not drop them all at once. So we're gonna let them come to New York Comic Con first, and you get to see them. They'll probably be in the museum there. Freddy Funko, the Super Freddy, the original Super Freddy from 2011. And I do love that first year that they really went crazy with some. They didn't go crazy with the Freddys, but they did some nice Freddy Funkos. They were all 48 pieces though. So those are, again, you don't see them every single day, but we have them here. And most of these also had chases to them. 2 other 96 pieces, Freddy as Leatherface, Freddy Face, Leather Fred, Leather Freddy, Freddy, I'm gonna sound like I said Letter Kenny. So we had, so Leatherface Freddy, and then we have Freddy as the Dude. That was a 96 piece. I never saw Freddy drinking a White Russian though. I never pictured that, but they did it for me. And it's not all Freddys. Here's one of the super duper rare ones. This was the Con Sticker Sith Trooper, and there weren't many of these available. It was like, if you got one of these, you're lucky enough to get one of the Con stickers. The price difference is ridiculous on this one. So you have a chance to maybe pick this one up for yourself as well. And here's something super rare, red and green resin Freddy Funkos. These, very, very limited. When these came out, they don't even have stickers. That's how rare they were. So to get these, good gracious, I haven't even seen these in a long time. So if you have that clear one at home, these are good to show up right next to it. But these are, these are over 10 years old at this point, and not many people have seen these in person. You're gonna get a chance to see it. You don't even have to buy it, but you get a chance to actually see it. And you get to see them up close. It's like we're bringing our own personal Freddy collection here with you, and you get a chance to see it. There are a whole lot more that I'm not showing you here. We have them in boxes. We have them all over the place. I just wanted to show you some of the idea of what you're going to see if you come by our booth 1023 at New York Comic Con. Why don't we take a look at some of these big pieces behind me right here. We're going to start off with some Mega Dorbs, and if you remember, these were featured at Fun Days. They were around. You really didn't get a chance to buy these anywhere. They didn't have them at the booth, but they were given out at Fun Days that, I forget what year these were, but these are cool to have. I wish I had my hands on one of them in my own personal collection, but I don't. So this is the closest I'm gonna get. I have this on video now, so I'm just gonna say, I'm gonna show my kids and tell them, yeah, this was mine. Maybe you like Joker Freddy, or maybe you like Masters of the Universe Freddy. All these different retro Freddy. Look, that's Brian's signature. He signed this one. Maybe you want one of these gigantic retro Freddys. We have a whole bunch of different ones too. We have Iron Man, we have Thor, Reaction, there's a Boo Berry one, there's a whole bunch of different ones. Again, you couldn't buy these directly from Funko. You had to actually get one. Somehow you could get it. And here's gonna be your opportunity to see these and maybe even pick one up. I don't know if we're bringing the Toys R Us display, but maybe one of those will show up with us. Maybe one of these is even going to show up with us. This was the original Freddy Funko display. They had the Funko Field Guide that would sit here in the front. Comic book stores would have these up there, and that was when I bought my first one 21 years ago, is when I picked this Freddy up. Not this particular Freddy, but one that looked just like it. And if you love Funko history, man, our booth is just going to be jam-packed full of it. So you'll have an opportunity to come over there. You can talk with me. You can talk with Paul Scardino, the Pop Enthusiast. He's going to be there talking about Funko history as well. So come on down. New York Comic Con, October 12th to the 15th, booth 1023. And we're right across from Funko. Get new Funko, get some Funko from the past. You're going to be able to get all of it. So I'm glad you joined us today to show off some of these impressive things that we got in this collection. We may even have like one of those holiday Chisokas I heard about. We're going to have a lot of great stuff. So make sure you stop by our booth. You'll see all this stuff there. You'll probably see it in a drop coming soon to you. Our drops Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday every single week. So come on, stop down to New York Comic Con, say hi to $7 a pop and Mystery Grail. Well, hey guys, that's all for now. So until next time, you stay safe out there. Go O's! Or maybe you like retro that dumb thing. And maybe you like... Hey, by the way, this was being filmed at 2:20 p.m. Eastern Time when they were testing the emergency alert system. Well, maybe you like Joker Freddy, or maybe you like Masters... Thanks. Huh. Okay.